Moved it.
Okay, you're good.
Okay, good evening, welcome to the Brookfield Select Board meeting for Wednesday, June 3rd, 2026 at 7 p.m. We're at the Brookfield Police Station meeting room. This meeting will be live streamed and recorded. There will be no public comment for this meeting. This is a joint meeting with the Board of Assessors. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Number one, ratify 6/4/26 annual town meeting warrant signatures.
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Number two, Shea property catch basin / school water runoff.
And it's annotated that I'm going to take lead, and at the last meeting, myself and Mr. Chafee had talked about it, and at the time I thought we were going to have him and a volunteer go take a look at the catch basin that was off the property and see if that ameliorated it any, and from what I understand, that didn't occur, and I have not followed up with Mr. Shea to get the status on the property. So, I don't know if we want to discuss what our next steps are with our current staffing levels.
When I saw the agenda and I saw that you'd be taking the lead, I didn't even reach out to him, so I don't know if
I don't know
anything's-
who put it on that way,
Okay.
so I was not responsible for putting it on the agenda. I should have objected to it when I saw it on the agenda. I apologize for not objecting at the time that I saw it on the agenda, but I wanted to have the conversation. I did not have the next action on this, so why am I on lead?
Not a big deal, but I'll follow up with him tomorrow and see what happened, and not trying to put you on the spot, so no big deal. I'll follow up and I'll get it back on. And
Thank you.
all right.
Okay, number three, Gay Road discussion, appoint town representative, vendor status, etc.
So, this was copied to Karen, so I figured she would get it forwarded out. So the lead contractor on the project, Mr. Piaffi, is in the hospital due to some medical conditions. The project is considered about 95% complete because we need the paving up to the town line, which is all that's currently on contract with them. Or not up to the town line, up to the wires. And we had talked about at the last meeting that the balance of that would likely be something we just need coordinated with the state contract, Broken Stone, right?
Mass Broken Stone.
Mass
yeah.
Broken Stone.
They have our bid for the last
Right.
several years. Yeah.
Right,
And it's
so-
good till June 30.
It's good till June 30 this year, and then we would have to see.
Rebid it.
Rebid it
Yep.
for next year, right? So, I guess one of my questions would be is have we put that bid out yet, since
So-
we're almost to the new year?
So the last I heard, sometimes those bids, they can, as long as nothing changes significantly, they can be extended up to 3 years. So I don't know. I'm assuming it's June 30th, but we should double check to see where that is. And I would think Deb would have a copy of that at the highway.
Okay,
Do you want to follow through with that?
I will absolutely follow up
Okay.
on what the status is of that contract, unless you have a copy of our current contract.
I should. I can look for it tomorrow.
Okay, that'd be great. And I know historically they come in the lowest of anybody, so. Functionally, they're looking to be there within, this was written on the 27th, 2 to 3 weeks from the 27th. They're looking at mid-June to be complete with the contractor's portion of the work. I know there was some of the shoulder treatment and such we were intending on doing with the highway department. We may have to have a discussion about what 100% complete actually looks like. one of my recommendations is that, since we don't currently have a highway super to act as a representative of the town, I know Bruce Clark was working very closely with them on the early portions of the project, and he has offered to act as representative of the town for the purpose of finishing the project. And I just wanted to propose that we appoint him as the representative of the town for the closeout on Gay Road, for the technical and representing, verifying that done is done down there. So I'd move that we.
Do we need that specifically on the agenda, or do you want to just go with it tonight?
Well, I had put on there appoint town representative. I didn't put a name on it, but I don't see that there was an issue with that. I mean, both the status of the project and appointing a town representative were on there. If anybody has any other suggestions or proposals, then I'm open to it.
I'm good with Bruce. I feel like he has the experience and knowledge, so it's up to the chair.
I'm okay. Just gotta get it done. And Rebecca sent an email this evening looking
There's
for,
been no charges this
yeah,
year.
looking for the charges, looking to close it out, looking for a status, so.
Yep.
Sooner the better.
So that's the status, and that would be my recommendation. So I move that we appoint Bruce as the town representative for the closure phase of the Gay Road project.
I'll second that.
Any discussion?
So is there a pay with it, or is he volunteering?
He volunteered. I don't know if we need to go back and revisit if there needs to be pay involved.
Okay. Well, either way, I'm good with it, so.
Okay. I mean, we can appoint him the representative,
Sure.
and then I'll reach out to him and see if he's expecting
volunteering.
compensation or if
Okay.
he's volunteering,
Perfect.
so.
Alright, any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Can I ask a question? What do we stand on the reimbursements for Gay Road? Because I'm showing that we're $574,000 awaiting reimbursement.
I don't know,
So,
she didn't say.
under the next chapter 90, I can talk maybe a little more about it.
Well, two
That's
separate
not chapter
things.
9.
No, this is
Oh,
This
that's
is
not
we
it.
ran
Oh,
road.
okay.
Yeah,
So then I don't
I
know.
mean, she's filed all the paperwork, so I can tell you the government's slow on everything right now, the federal government is just
Yeah,
outrageous.
she said that she submitted 4 apps totaling $787,933.60. And that didn't, and then plus this 5%, which was totaled like $829,403.79.
Alright, I mean, I'm showing we're out more than that, but we expended more than that, but I haven't gotten copies of any of the reimbursements, so I don't know what's been submitted.
Okay. And really quickly, yeah, one of my questions.
We should be able to get that for you.
Yeah, so
easily.
she can send me over copies of all of the reimbursements that have been done.
Okay, so one of my questions, it says in the email from PLP, it says we are projecting another $378,415.
That was including paving all the way to the town line. It's gonna be less than that. When they originally said that.
Okay, but where do we stand for the contract portion of it, right? Because he bid $950, right, or something around that, so he
Yeah,
said
it
he
was
could do the
$950,
job in
$959.
$950, so is that not the case anymore, is my question? Because now he's saying the new total is 1.2. So, I guess where did we go from the bid to the 1.2 is my question.
So,
And I don't know, this might be a me thing, but I don't get it, I don't understand it.
so I can't answer that blow by blow, but what I can tell you is that if we're only going to the power lines, it's gonna come in right at $1 million. 200 of that was the paving from the wire to the town line, and once I clarified that with Andy, and he should have sent a follow-up email, once I clarified that they were stopping at the wires, because that's what they're on contract for, it came back into, he said it was gonna be like half of what he had originally said was the remainder. And if you recall, as a board, we had a discussion about the fact that we were already at 800,000 and they were expecting 387. And we can go back and pull up the tape about the discussion that we had regarding the funding sources.
No, I know, and
Right.
I get we appropriated the funding for the COVID and all that, but I don't know, I guess my confusion is that I thought from the power lines to the town line was only an extra $45,000 a couple months ago.
For the base. For doing the base work, the top coat paving with the contractor is not inconsequential. I don't know how much that is, but I think something like 100
Okay,
plus
so
of
we're
the
using the
387
state bid
to do
for the
that, yeah.
top
to
coat.
do that, yes.
But he did the base coat.
Right.
Okay, now I get it.
And
Okay.
then there was
So
also
we've already
the-
paid for the base to go in.
But then there was also the extra for the work at the beginning of Gay Road too, that
Correct.
drove the cost another 40 or 50,000 in my
Maybe, yeah.
Somewhere in there, I don't remember the exact.
Maybe, and then more tree work than what we had originally expected.
Yeah, that's fine. I just didn't. Okay, I got it. Now we're good. We're on the same page. Okay. All right. Anything else? Okay. Number 4. Chapter 90 reimbursement. I put it on only because Lori brought it to my attention, so I'm bringing it to both of your attentions. We're still outstanding some Chapter 90 reimbursements. Wanted to make sure that we're all on the same page. We have June 30th deadline, so just wanted to kind of throw it out there. And
So that's what I was talking about, and I confused Gay Road. But so the Chapter 90 work that I'm aware of was paving Route 148 from roughly Quabog Equipment to Mitchell Hill. And I don't believe anything has been done with that yet. So I reached out to the town of East Brookfield. East Brookfield said that he would take care of it, more than likely on Monday. He would take care of it for the town of Brookfield. He said it should be fairly simple. He may need some numbers from Lori, the accountant, and then other than that, he said it's a pretty easy task. And then I also talked to Brian Johnson in Holland, and he said basically the same thing. If we get in a jam and East Brookfield can't help, he'd be willing to help out as well.
Okay,
okay,
great.
good. Anything else? Or
So-
you have, well, my question for you have everything you need, right? As far as to be able for them to submit?
Mhm.
Okay, okay.
It's
perfect.
easy, it's just on the computer, so
Okay,
as long as, it would be helpful if we could find the login.
Yeah,
Whoever's
login,
gonna use
password,
it.
and on the portal, yeah.
Yep, so it's a
Okay.
portal, so it should be somewhere down at the highway department, because Lindsay had been doing it before. I don't think Kyle, or Katie ever used it, because we haven't submitted a reimbursement at all this year. But all they're gonna need is the login information and then a list of my invoices.
Yeah. And-
Okay.
And he said he's very familiar with it, and
Yep.
he said it'd be pretty easy, so thank you to Mike at East Brookfield
Yes.
Highway.
okay. Number 5, appoint town representative for cemetery project.
Okay. So, again, with the fact that we've got some staffing gaps, and we need some help to get some things either started or finished, in this case started, I wanted to propose to the board to appoint Kermit Eaton as the town representative for the cemetery project. He's got a long history in supporting the care and maintenance of the cemetery, but he also played a key role in helping the steering committee develop the requirements package that we're using to plot the plan, and it would seem to be a natural fit. I've been doing the best I can to run around and get quotes and at least get stuff started so that we're in a position to start the work. But I would love to have somebody who could really focus on it, kind of minding the store on that.
I'm gonna recuse myself because I understand my son did some bidding, so
He
I'm
did do some
So
bidding.
I'm gonna recuse myself.
But I was the one responsible for
Okay.
doing that. You had, I will state on the camera that Rich had nothing to do with his son being included in the milling bids this round. So then we can talk about that when we get to
A
the
question.
quote section.
Do I have a question, Sarah?
Sure.
I'm not sure, Rich, why you would recuse yourself if they're just appointing me to be involved, but that's up to you.
The only reason that I'd recuse myself is just, I just want to stay away from any possibility of any.
Can I answer that for you?
Yeah.
It could be perceived as you, for whatever reason, he's doing you some sort of a favor by giving you purview over the project, and then with you having purview over the
Okay.
project, if we selected Connor for the
Yeah, I have no
billings.
idea who you selected. so-
Yeah, exactly. Well, we haven't selected anybody yet. I have 3 bids that I was gonna bring to the board today, but even though
It's just the optics of it.
it's just,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's just safer, and that's the right thing, honestly, so.
Okay, so did you make the motion?
I did make the motion, yes.
Second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, so we got 3 quotes for, and we broke it up into phases because originally a lot of this was gonna get done internal by highway, and we were just gonna buy material, okay?
Mhm.
So, but knowing that we have like a serious shortage of personnel, management in the highway department, my thought is that we continue with the phases of the project as originally conceptualized, right? Because completing one has nothing to do with completing the other, okay? So what I did was I took the cemetery steering committee document, I actually drafted up a RFP in like a mass compliance style, even though we didn't need to like go to like combis, because full expectation that it would be below the threshold. And I sent it out actually to 4 local vendors. Like one of the pieces of heartburn I had with this last year was that I felt like we had no idea who the milling quote had been sent out to. We didn't know whether it had specified screen millings. 2 of the folks came back saying that they don't screen millings. I wanted to make sure we had 3 bids, screen millings, coming in from locally recognized contractors that do this sort of work, okay? So I took the steering committee document. I will admit that I used my best friend co-pilot. I drafted a document that was largely compliant with just about everything, okay? And including the map that was at the end of it, sent it out to 4 organizations, Blackstone Valley Paving, Pioneer Stone, Chafee Landscaping, and I can't remember Ryan Point Brand's company's name, but I sent it to him as well.
Dirt something.
Dirtworks, yeah.
Something.
Just because he's
Yeah.
local, we know him, he knows what would happen if we were angry, that sort of thing. So, I only got 3 back. I got Blackstone Valley, Pioneer Stone, and Chafee Landscaping. When you take a look at the quotes, they all quoted very similar numbers of loads of screened millings.
Mhm.
All of them said that the millings would be screened to the 1 inch per what the RFP document indicated. And the numbers that we have per load is Blackstone was 1,500 per load. Pioneer Stone was 1814 per load. I know it's like oddly specific, but they include all of their labor for doing the rolling and all of that. And Chafee Landscaping was 875 per load. So, but he's expecting to use 14 loads, so like the prices came out within like $2,000 of each other, because depending on how much they were expecting to use, it was interesting to see the impact, because like the person with like it wasn't quite the lowest number of loads was the highest price per load, but there seemed to be some correlation there, so. But everybody was between 12 and 14 loads of, 25-ton loads of millings. And I know that Pioneer has walked it previously. I walked it with Chafee Landscaping and Blackstone. I wasn't able to meet them, but they did walk the prem based off of the map. So I think everybody understood what they were getting into. On the Chafee Landscaping bid, they did do an add option relative to the grading east-west, but I think if we can find a volunteer to run the town equipment, I think we can get that graded in-house. Um, but that's what I have, so, I don't know if you want me to make a motion to accept one of the bids, or?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I mean, I'll make a motion that we accept the Chafee landscaping bid.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye,
So,
so,
okay.
awesome.
Hopefully we can get to the finish line.
And I can send you, I'll send you all of
Yes,
those
please.
bids,
Yep.
but I have them all in writing, so.
Perfect.
So what would the Chafee bid be roughly if you got 13 loads at?
I think it came out $19,000, 14 loads at, the 850, oh, what was it? It was, here, let me do the math. Let me find it.
Yeah, 12, 13,000.
Hold on, somehow well, let me go take a look at the math that was in the quote. I hope I didn't do the math wrong, so, come on, OneDrive. So
We depend too much on our calculators here.
we
How to
do,
it like-
right, in my head it says it should only be like 15,000, right, or under 15,000, but the total bid price was 19,975. So, we may have to double check the contractor math on that. So let's do, let me take it, let me back it out.
How many loads?
14, so let me back it out from the 19,975.
1576.
What's that?
It's like 1580, 290.
Yeah. Yeah, that is 1580, 1590, isn't it? Okay, so the construct of that was confusing. And you're right, we rely on our calculators too much.
I just like showing off, you know.
I did the whole budget in my head, so it's fine. Good luck
Sure,
tomorrow.
sure.
No calculator.
The reason I ask is if 16 plus the ceiling guy was 32, so that.
Yeah, and
so
that
it's
was 13, his was 13 loads at 1814 a load.
But no,
Yeah.
I'm saying that the seal quotes, the
Yeah,
low bidder was 32,000,
correct.
and plus let's say 18.
No, the low bidder was like 23, wasn't it?
Not for the ceiling. No,
Okay,
the ceiling is,
thought it was lower than that. I could be wrong. I'm probably am wrong because obviously you have the paperwork in front of you.
31.2, and the other bid was close to 40,000. So we got 31,000 roughly, and let's say 16,000, so we're at 48.
Yeah,
So we're well under the 60,000. That's what I'm.
trying to estimate, right?
Yeah, and just, and there, there may be a couple $1,000s somewhere in here that we need for other things that we didn't anticipate.
Okay.
So we're still under the 60,000.
And actually, so let me make sure that we have the right rate on the record because I think the loads were material only in that bid, but then including the installation labor is at 19,975, which is 1426, which is 75 a load less than the other bid. So
For
it is
what?
still the lowest bid
For what?
for Chafee
Okay.
landscaping. It's like 14, what is it? It comes out 1426, almost 1427 a load. So, but they're all like within, and so all the load rates were like, it was like 1426, 1500, and then 1814.
So if we go with 14 loads, so what's
It'll come out
$19,975.
$19,975.
So 20,000.
Yeah, $20,000 if it winds up 14 loads.
And then 20,000. So we're at 51
We're at 51.
between the two, but we have a couple of other minor things that have to be
that
done.
have to happen,
That the
yeah,
highway was gonna do if we may not be able to use highway.
correct.
We can't use highway, gotta figure out how to do something.
How to do it,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, but we still have a snowball's chance of coming in within budget.
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple of landscaping has to be done, that was gonna be done by the highway department, they were gonna.
Do a load of loam and do some back
Right.
work.
And there's loam at the town barn.
There is, yeah.
And so we could get that up there.
Well, that's why, as the representative of the town, you can go hunt us down some voluntold or,
We just gotta find somebody who can load it up on the truck and drive it up there.
yep, exactly.
Okay.
So, and we do have somebody in highway, and so like loading up a load of loam is probably within the confines of what we can handle with staff that we have. So,
Good.
Okay, anything else? Moving on. Number 7, interim and permanent highway superintendent discussion.
okay, so we actually need to get the position posted.
Yes. Both, or you want to do permanent when you,
I think we should do both,
Yeah.
okay.
depending what we get for applicants, maybe the interim will be the, let's see.
It will be the permanent,
Yeah.
but it gives us some options.
Okay.
I gave you the job description. Are you sticking with that? Do you want me
Sure.
to post it with that job description?
Yeah, with dollar amount, do you want to
Yeah.
post it for?
What was the rate that we were paying?
I
Or
think
what's
we're
the
right around-
annual budget? What do we have on the budget for next year?
It was 90,000 plus 3%, I think.
Yeah, sounds right, because I know the budget with me.
92,700.
So, I think we
No
would just.
calculator.
What's that?
I think,
I was gonna look in my email.
I think it's 92.7, but I could
Yeah.
be wrong.
Yeah. Let's just say 90 for round numbers, because it'll keep us in the right neighborhood.
Sure.
So, and actually technically what we would typically do is post a range equivalent per annum, right? Because
Mhm.
typically that's a salary role, and I think that's one of the transitions we need to make with this highway superintendent.
we went from salary to hourly, and then we have to decide if we're gonna go back to salary or stay as,
I thought Herb was hourly.
I don't remember what Herb was, but Ryan was salary.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Could have sworn Herb was hourly.
Herb might have been hourly, but when we hired Ryan on, Ryan was salary.
Okay.
And then when Ryan left, then we just had the slew of miscellaneous interims, and we just paid them all hourly.
Yeah.
And then when Kyle started, we made him hourly.
Okay.
So we've
Yeah.
kind of done it both ways.
Okay.
So it's typical for superintendents to be just salary.
Salary, yeah.
Flat salary.
I would say salary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that'll make things very straightforward.
Yes.
So I would say we post it both as an interim, and I guess I would put a range on it. I would put a range both on interim and regular, saying something like 85 to 92 DOE, or equivalent, right? And that way, depending on if you've got somebody who's more experienced or more qualified, it gives you the option
Yeah.
to pay up to the max. If you've got somebody who's maybe a marginal candidate, then you've got a little bit of sandbag.
Okay.
So I would move that we would post both the interim and permanent highway superintendent position with a salary range of 85 to 92 on both of them.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
What about hours? Are you gonna put down how many hours you need to work?
Well, it's pretty clear.
Salary is
Salary.
always 40 functionally. I mean, even though like the schedule may vary, but typically when it's someone's salary, it's salary.
So you want
It's
me to
one of the
put
things
forth
that-
so they'll know?
Yeah,
Okay.
because one of the things that's always been a problem is we've had some positions that were salaried but considered 24-hour positions. Then if they work more than that, it becomes a case where you've got problems because it can be viewed as using salary as an excuse not to pay somebody their hours worked, and I don't want to get into that.
What if they work less, Beth? I'm sorry to interrupt. What if they work less than the 40 hours they're supposed to?
No public comment.
You know? So, bear that in mind.
Number 8, highway operations, discussion. I just put it on just in case anybody wanted to talk about anything highway related.
Okay.
Paul called me, and said that had been helping out the highway department with mowing, but he wasn't sure if that should continue or where it stood, or I don't know. He didn't want to get in trouble, so I just put it on there just so we can talk about it.
Well, and I have a couple
Can I
things
jump in
on
for one
that
thing on
topic.
that? Because I specifically got called from Chris asking if he could have Paul help. I said I didn't feel comfortable authorizing it as one member of the board, that it should come to this, and so thankfully Sarah put it on. So I think it's minimal, but I wasn't willing to authorize it.
So I think my only concern, if Chris wants his help, I'm not gonna stand against Chris having a second set of hands. My only concern is that I don't feel like Paul's skill set is well aligned with some of the work. But if Chris is finding him helpful, I wouldn't say no to him putting his hours in at highway instead of some of what he's doing. I don't think I'm on board with him getting authorized overtime to help him, but if
It's not overtime. Paul's been working 5 hours every pay period down at the highway.
Okay,
The whole time Kyle's been there, and he gets paid through the highway budget.
okay.
My only other concern was I didn't know where the budget stood for finances either, so that was the other reason I didn't.
They have no money.
Yeah, they're out of money.
They have.
Did you get my note though about?
I did, and I have to look through all of that, unfortunately, before I can just transfer.
No, I understand, but I did build it out so
Yeah.
you should be able to look at it. So what
Yeah.
it has is the person's, just to be transparent, it
Yeah.
has their total hours worked, it has the work that Kyle said was attributable to Gay Road, and given what I know of the activities that were going on
Mhm.
down there, it passes like the sniff check of like
Yeah.
who was working what when. So, and it's
Right.
not 100% of their hours, it looks like it's anywhere from 75 to 90% of the hours depending on the week.
Yep.
So, and in some cases it was actually trivial hours, but still.
Right, which will help, and I'll be able to move all those once I just verify everything, but that's not gonna help for and I think this falls under the operations part of the discussion.
It does.
They're out of money. They have zero money to pay bills. I turned back a giant pile, what's in my bag to turn back tomorrow when I get to the office. So Kyle had signed a final voucher before he departed last week, or had Deb put it together, stacks of bills, and I can't pay any of them. There's no money. I was not prepared to fund the highway budget out of transfers. I could probably get them 10 grand, but that's.
Well, we're gonna have to, well, rather than just turn it back, I think we just need to have the conversation about, those bills are gonna have to get paid, right? So what's gonna be our plan to try and do that?
Do we know an about number, what it is?
Off the top of my head, no. It's in my bag at the house, but I need someone down there to figure out. I mean, the bills that were sent to me were from March and some from April, so I need to know how many more bills are to be expected, and what else is still being ordered through June to figure out how much more money do I need to try to find them through the end of the year.
Well, I mean, one of the reasons why you got that is because I think Deb asked Kyle what was there that needed to get
Right.
processed, right? So, I think that's, I think that's probably important to understand. And at least she knows, I know that when I talk to her about what is she doing where there is no highway superintendent, she's going through the email, finding things like the bills, because a lot of the bills come in via email. You know, she's still getting citizen reports and requests down there. And she did actually go and find all the registrations and the plates. She actually went kind of through the whole shop, because I know that, a couple of folks had expressed some concern about the 1 tons not being really street legal, sorry.
Well, and even a couple of the 10-wheelers,
And a
all
couple
the
of
lights were
10-wheelers.
taken, yeah,
Right,
so.
exactly, so
So I don't know how the plates came off the vehicles, that part's not clear to me.
I'm not 100% certain either. Some of them look new, so they may have like rotted off and they got replacement plates and never put them on. I don't know, but there's a whole pile of them sitting behind her desk right now that we just need to match up VIN numbers and registrations to the plates and get them back on the vehicles.
Okay.
I'm not comfortable with you just kicking that package back. I'd really feel better if we sat down and had the discussion, is there any place that we have any room? And I understand that the answer may be no, but if there's no room to transfer, I don't know if we've framed up the warrant article, and so, I don't think we have a warrant article to say to pay like this year's bills.
I have an article that's, because I didn't realize that they were so far behind in bills. The article I changed to supplement the budget just says to supplement the treasurer's wages line.
So we need a special, right?
I
Like a special town meeting to label all the bills? For like,
effectively,
Right?
no, we're out of time to call a special.
well, no, like later on, like after June.
November
like,
or
yeah,
something
like
like
November,
that,
like that's what
October.
I mean. Yeah, like November, October. Like, are we gonna have to have them pile up and wait till we get all of them and then?
You could, or we can ask the moderator to allow us to amend the article on the floor that has 60,000. That I allocated 60,000 to the treasurer's line. I can ask him.
This is why I hate putting specifics in those warrant articles, and I should have called it out, and I apologize that I didn't. But we should have just said to supplement FY 2026 budgets. Right? So,
I
And
think
the
this
only
could
reason
be
I-
explained at the town meeting, and I feel like,
I added that in because Michelle told me to add it in.
oh, really?
Yes. She said, you're missing a line. I said, okay, so I put it in. But as long as the moderator's fine, it can be amended because it's still the same purpose.
Right, it's basically a budget shortfall for the year.
Yep.
And you can at least give us like a ballpark.
I don't know.
Hope.
I
Right.
have nothing.
Should we
Well,
just
but
label?
wait a second. So we do have something. First of all, how do you know how much that pack of bills was that was submitted?
Off the top of my head, no, but at least 10 grand.
Okay, but let's really talk through this. If my math is right, let's just presume for a second that I didn't, unlike my embarrassing public math tonight, that my private math when I am sitting there looking at something is actually correct. Okay? There was $63,000 of highway wages that should have
Didn't get
been
expended.
attributed against road reconstruction for the purpose of Gay Road. That is article money.
okay,
If that $63,000,
that would cover it.
if we align that is the right number, okay? At least I think it was $63,000.
Right, but my only question, where am I gonna move all that to? The road reconstruction line?
So it would be to the road reconstruction account. All of those wages would go to road reconstruction account. That was the discussion that we had and voted a couple of meetings ago.
And how much was the road reconstruction account? Do you have
There's
an approximate?
$90,000 in the road reconstruction account. So,
And did any other monies get touched in that, or was it just the 63 that you
I don't think we've touched it this year.
We
Okay,
used a little bit of it, not very much, so I don't have it with me.
okay.
A little bit, but not very much.
Yeah. So there's.
Seems like
there's
that
enough-
number would get us over the hurdle by far.
Yeah, so that number, if that number is correct, and like I said, I got as accurate a number as I could get, and I got it a couple of weeks ago, I just hadn't gotten a chance to build it out with the wages and stuff.
Where did that number come from? How did you?
A combination of Kyle and Deb. So I gave Deb the assignment to go hunt down the payroll of total hours. I told her to get with Kyle and find out how much of it was done at Gay Road. Because originally he had given us like a number of 43,000, but it was like all of the wages, or like, you know, it was some round number that he had done the math with, and I was like, that's not acceptable, we need to figure out like, really, where did people work it and how, right?
Was there any log or anything? Did that log
He
ever come up?
didn't have a log, he just, so it still probably was an estimate, but I told him it needed to be a good faith estimate based on any records he had about other work that was done at that period of time. So, and I said, I don't want meetings, I don't want stand-up meetings, I don't want somebody going and repairing a vehicle and driving shit into Worcester in order to like take
Yeah,
something to a shop, like, get that stuff out of there. So, I mean, I was pretty explicit on, and then the hours that came back appeared to reflect the instructions given for figuring out the hours.
I mean, realistically, if you three want to vote on moving the hours, I'll just do them, because if not, I have to look through every single one. I thought it looked like too many hours to me, but that's.
Well, I know how much
mean,
work was happening down there.
I know there was a lot of work down there, but I felt like leaving like 2 hours for one person in a week. I mean, and 3 hours for another person. I mean, there had to have been other stuff going on at the highway barn for those weeks and months. But if you guys want to just vote on it, it's all town funds, so that's completely up to you, and then I won't have to dig through everything.
We talked about a reason for a log, right? Looking.
Yeah, but I mean,
this is-
there's nothing to go back and verify it one way or the other. I mean,
But I just see the importance going forward, yeah. That's,
I mean, it'll
well, we
clear
could
up
say
the
that about,
deficits.
No, I
I
get it.
agree, but we
I
could
get
say
it.
that about
Yeah.
Karen, we could say that
Yeah,
about
no, I get
the
it.
treasurer, we can say, once we have one, we could say, I mean, we have to be careful, right?
So the wages for Gay Road, the total was 63,000 for when Bruce was working.
Bruce's hours
Bruce
is
is not
already.
in there.
He's not in there because his hours were already moved. Kyle asked me to move those a few months ago, and those were all moved to Chapter 90. So unfortunately, we're gonna attempt to get those reimbursed by Chapter 90, and they probably will get kicked back.
Chapter 90 for Gay Road.
Yes. Because if we didn't have wages in our original project request, they're just gonna deny them, and then I'll have to move them again from Chapter 90, either back to the wages or into road
Do we
reconstruction.
know what that amount was?
It was like, I wanna say it was like $12,000 or $15,000.
Yeah, the number I got, actually, and I'm sorry, the grand total I had was like $60,537.20.
60.
60537.
Not including Bruce.
Not including Bruce. 60537.20.
So at the time working there, it was Kyle, Scott, and
Chris.
Andrew. And then Chris came in after Andrew, so.
Yeah, yep. Yep, and that's who's listed.
It does seem like a lot, but I'm not gonna. So what do we do with the 25?
Well, actually, he had Bruce's numbers in there.
So that would just be, I would just have to remove those, because
You'd have to
they're
back
already,
those out.
they're already gone
Yeah.
out of the wages.
But not all of his hours. There was some early hours and then there's some at the very
Yes.
tail end. So,
Yeah.
so you'd have to back those out. So
Mhm.
it's a little less than that. It's
Yeah.
probably closer to 55.
Yeah.
Would be my guess, taking out Bruce's hours. I missed the fact he was listed. I may have excluded, check my formulas, I may have
I
excluded
don't think he
Bruce.
had a total in there. I
Yeah.
think he just had his name but no dollars.
Yep, I did. Actually, I
Yeah.
excluded him because you had said that it
Yeah.
had come out. Okay.
So then if Chapter 90 kicks that back, then what do we do with that money?
Then I just take it out of the Chapter 90 account and I move it either back to wages if there's still money, or I put it in road reconstruction.
Okay. So it seems like there would be enough to cover the highway bills, because I don't
Yes.
think much went on for the last, I think the big number was,
Well, like she
was
said,
so nice,
it's
so.
10, like she
Yeah,
said, it's
yeah.
10 grand is the big pile of bills. So instead of kicking them back, let's hold on to that packet. I think there's another small one coming, I think of like 3 grand, maybe less. I'd have to ask. I know that there's a few more bills that.
And these
she's
are,
listed
I'm
for
only
this week.
kicking back the ones that they paid, they're trying to pay from highway expenses. I paid all the fuel bills, all the, you know, repair and replace equipment account bills,
Yeah.
those all got paid. It's just the ones they're trying
Yeah,
to pay directly from highway
but-
expenses, that's out of money.
But don't kick it back, because we're gonna just have to do transfers.
Right, and unfortunately, we'll have to figure something out really quick, because, I mean, I'm kicking and not paying their electric bills, and.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is that instead of doing
Yeah.
what you were planning on doing, especially where we at least have the numbers on the wages,
Mm-hmm.
let's get the wages stuff handled. Let's do the transfers, right? And keep the lights on,
Well,
literally.
not only that,
Right?
I wanna see the vendors be paid,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, but we need to keep the lights
But
on,
especially the
literally.
electricity,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Get the electricity and internet and everything else, because all the bills go down there.
Right,
So if you three want to just vote on the payroll
all right,
three
so
classes, then I'll just do them.
So I move that we reclassify the payroll, as indicated on the spreadsheet. I think I sent it to both of y'all.
Mhm.
To road reconstruction.
I'll second that.
Any discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Number 9.
But one more thing on that one. Who do you want to authorize to sign the payroll and the bills?
All right.
So it's always been the superintendent and no one else is authorized.
So do we want to move to have Deb do that in the interim until we have a superintendent?
I'm good, either Deb or Chris. You know, Chris has really stepped up to the plate. I speak to him almost daily. He tells me what he's doing. He's doing lawns, he's doing the field. He hasn't got to the South Pond area yet, but he's been doing potholes. And back to, I don't think we finished the discussion with Paul. Paul has been able to help him shuttle vehicles at times. The other day, the leaf and brush bins were full at the transfer station. He made sure, I talked to Chris, he got that done on a Friday, made sure it was done for Saturday morning. He's been really stepping up, so I can't thank him enough for what he's done, and so.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, do we want to keep the paperwork off of him? That's the
Yeah,
only reason why I
So
suggested
he should
that.
sign his own, and then if Deb, you know, then Deb forwards it, but I think as long as he's signing his payroll.
Do you want to just
I'm good with
authorize either one of them? That way,
Let's,
if, you know.
yeah, let's actually authorize both of them
Yeah.
to do it, depending on who's available.
Yeah. Okay.
Or, in probably, yeah, so do you want
You
to?
want a motion?
Yeah, I'll move that we authorize both Deb Young and Chris Stevens to sign as the authorized person on both warrant and payroll
I'll
for
second
the
that.
highway.
Any discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye. So, getting back to Paul and the amount of time, like, I think he has been a big help to Chris, and I want to thank Paul for that too. And he has run the weed whacker, and there are things that he's been able to do to help out, so, if it's not gonna break the bank, I'd like him to continue to 5 hours a week, but it's up to you guys.
Well, this, as long as we have the wage money to
Yeah,
pay him, that's
yeah,
fine.
I'm thinking
It
once I
seems
move
like
all
it.
that money, we should be good.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
All right.
Anything else?
No?
Number 9. Assessor assistant position job description.
Okay, so, Patty has said at a minimum she wants to go to half-time starting 1 July, and that she would, as soon as we can fill the role with a replacement, she would be interested in fully retiring. We do have a proposal, and I forgot to bring the documents with me. I don't know if I forwarded the soft copy or not. I will forward it to the board for review on during another meeting. But we do have a proposal for $7,500 to provide principal assessor support from Roy Bishop's wife Diane would provide that support, but she'd be mostly virtual. And that would include some hourly fees for training if we get somebody in that needs more training than Patty can do in a transition period. So my recommendation would be to post for an assistant assessor at Patty's full schedule and rate. We actually have enough in next year's budget that would cover a fair amount of overlap with her work in halftime. Or that would also cover that principal assessor role. So I think if we watch it carefully about how many hours go where, we can fit an all of the above solution into the funding that's currently on the assessor wages line. But I think we want to get this posted as soon as possible so that we have potential for continuity of service and that Patty can actually train up a replacement.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I think one thing we had talked about a while back in the assessor's office was the idea of putting index cards or something so that the public can view a lot of this stuff outside the office when the office is not open. And the amount of time that Patty had taken off when last year, that we didn't really have any complaints with the amount that the office was open. And in most other communities, you can go view the index cards for the parcels and the property without the help of the assessor. So I think if we did that, I think we might even be able to knock the actual hours down some if we got into a bind where we didn't have personnel for it. So I'm not saying close up shop, but I just think if we...
I mean, it's all the cards are available online. I don't know why we would have to put index cards out.
For some reason, people
surprised.
come and want to see them at the... Yeah, no, you're
We
absolutely
have
right.
a box in one of my towns. They are available online, but we keep a box.
Mhm.
Because we have a contract for an assessor's clerk. She comes one day a week, but we keep a box with all the property cards. And they get updated. We only update them once a year, and it says it on top of the box.
Yeah.
Updated last time on this date, and you can view pull a piece of paper.
May seem bizarre to you, but it'll be easier for me to go look at that box and go online.
Some people just don't like the online option. They like to come in and.
Kermit, which way would you do it? I'll see you later, Kermit. Have a good night.
Kermit.
All right,
Thank you, Kermit.
you're welcome. Karen, you ready?
Alright, so are we posting, what are we posting, how many hours, what dollar amount?
Well, based on Patty's position.
Yeah, I mean, she's currently 24 hours and $29 an hour, if I remember correctly, thereabouts.
Okay.
So I would say probably, and the safe thing to do would be to post it as probably like 16 to 24 hours and the pay,
25 to 29.
25 to 29 DOE,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And see what kind of an applicant pool we can get.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
What about the job description? Because when I looked, I don't know if we used the one that I enclosed there. I looked at the hard copy job descriptions and the ones on my computer, and I don't have a final one for the principal, for the assessor assistant. And I know you guys appointed Patty as the assistant, but I don't know if you had a specific job description for that. I don't have one. So there was one that came a long time ago, from a while back, from Michelle. If you want to use that one.
Well, I would think it would be the principal assessor position, right?
No.
I'm just gonna,
Assistant.
No,
you're just gonna keep the
assistant
assistant and keep
assessor.
it, okay.
And the way we've gotten by with not having it in the bylaws is that it's basically, assistant assessor is a short form for administrative assistant to the assessor,
Okay.
right? And so she falls under the same pay grade as the administrative assistants.
Okay.
So what do you want to use for job description? Oh, that's the last one.
The second one, I would say the second one.
The clerk one?
Oh, it says clerk, I didn't see
Yep.
that. Meh.
I would post it as administrative assistant to the assessor, so it falls under administrative assistant, which is a category defined in our bylaws.
Yeah, but which job description do you prefer, or do you wanna wait into a mix of both? I don't wanna wait, but,
No, I don't wanna wait.
So the problem is, like, for
I
the
mean-
first one, we're requiring a minimum education, and so that could be a problem for, I don't know why it would have to have the minimum education.
assistant real estate, I don't know what you two are the assessors also, so I feel like you know both.
I'm okay with using the clerk description, but I wanna put the administrative assistant.
Take the clerk out of
Out, the word
Instead of
clerk.
taking
it.
it
Yeah,
back,
just take the clerk out.
Yeah,
I don't wanna make it more stringent than it needs to be, so we have less applicants.
correct. And honestly, the listing under the administrative clerk is, it covers the guts of what Patty does.
Yeah.
I would say the level of her proficiency is reflected in the assistant assessor description, if that makes any sense. Like, she is at that assistant assessor
Yeah, level.
right? But when if you just took a look at like the raw, like the day-to-day, what gets done, it's an accurate description of what happens. So
Okay.
I move that we use the assessing administrative clerk job description, but title it as administrative assistant Board of Assessors probably, for that job title that we use for
Yeah.
hiring.
Agreed.
That was a motion, right?
That wasn't.
Oh, a motion second.
Any discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Number 10, sign contract authorized signature listing, CASL.
Yeah, you already did this, you guys already signed that, a similar one. Now they're sending it, this is from the MEMA project, and I don't know if it really has to be done again, because we've already done it once, but they're asking for it, so better safe than sorry, we'll just sign it and send it back.
Okay.
Okay, so I move that we re-sign the MEMA hazard mitigation plan contract.
No, this is number 10.
Yeah, CASL first.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm out of order.
Sorry.
That's okay.
So I'll second the motion fee, the CASL. Is that,
I don't see this.
what do you want to?
Well, make the, oh, there it is. All right, so we need to make, so who are we making the authorized signature? Okay.
Yeah.
So I move that we make Sarah Campbell our contractor authorized signatory listing representative.
Second.
Any discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Number 11, Mass Emergency Management Agency MEMA Hazard Mitigation Plan Contract.
Move that we approve or sign the MEMA hazard mitigation plan contract.
I'll second that.
Any discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Number 12, sign liability letter regarding East Brookfield's parade route.
I'll make a motion that we sign the East Brookfield Parade Route liability letter.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Number 13, approve 4/1/26 select board minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the 4/1/26 select board minutes as written.
Any,
Second.
any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Number 14, how do you want to handle the activity at the highway department after hours? Do you want to put that on as unanticipated, or do you wanna wait? But I think we need to take some action.
The what? Say it again, sorry.
The activity at the highway department after hours. Time was that, Jake? 9-ish?
8:35 to 8:53.
What day was that?
Saturday, the 30th of May.
Okay, so I would just turn over that video to the appropriate authorities. I don't think we need to discuss it here.
The only thing is, you wanted to take another look at it, just see if there was anything kicking around, but I asked him again today, and he said there's the stuff is not there, so I agree, I think it should go to the authorities. So would you send all of that to the police?
Yep.
Thank you, Jake.
Unless somebody,
Thank you.
Unless you think it's somebody one of us can call and say WTF over.
So
I'm sorry.
I think, thank you for
I
putting in all
said that on
effort.
camera, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
For the record.
Yeah, Jake put quite a bit of time.
Scratch that part, Jacob.
It's okay. It
Jake,
can go unfiltered.
Yeah, beep.
He put in quite a bit of time to look at the cameras, so thank you again.
No problem, thank you.
Okay. And if we need to talk about it in the future, we can talk about it in the future.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because as far as I'm concerned, whoever's on the camera was trespassing unless they had contacted somebody to do whatever work they were doing.
Right.
Yeah.
At a minimum.
Okay.
Okay. Last. Someone make a motion.
All right.
Oh, is it?
I'll move that we go into executive session under exemption 2 to conduct strategy sessions in preparation for negotiations with non-union personnel or to conduct collective bargaining sessions or contract negotiations with non-union personnel. And not to reconvene to open session.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote.
KPI.
Coughlin, aye.
Campbell, aye.
Well, thank you.